Hello everybody, this is Mohammed El Ramli from Cairo University, Faculty of Computers and Information. I'm talking to you from Cairo about our project Cairo Cloud Computer CQ, which is part of the Global Collaboratory Consortium, generously funded by an HP Catalyst grant. So I'll share the project vision, the initial project plan. I have to talk about the Egyptian and cloud revolutions in context, and then our revised project plan. So our vision is to build the first of its kind cloud computing facility in Egypt that mainly targets improving quality of computer science education at Cairo University, and also works as a test bed for cloud computing research and training. And also a very important aspect is to offer this cloud for researchers in Egypt and abroad in Africa for solving complex problems that require computing infrastructure. Specifically, we aim to build a lab that offers different operating systems on demand and also hosts different applications that are suitable for computer science education, and also hosts cloud computing training and research. We hope through that to transform the way we deliver education in our faculty, and also offer the whole environment as a whole for researchers working on complex problems. The initial plan was to set up the cloud in 6 months, and then train staff and prepare courses and projects in another 6 months, and then to deploy and implement in 1 year, overlapping with evaluation and future planning. And we did a bit of setup and training, not much of course and project preparation. Because of this, we got a revolution in our country, as you probably know by now, and that was a key event that started on 25th of January by huge protests that were eventually crushed by the police. And then they came back on 28th. I was joining these 28th ones that eventually crushed the police at the end of the day. And after about 2 weeks of protests, the President Mubarak stepped down. As you can see in the right side of the picture, these are 4 million people gathering in one square, half a mile by half a mile, against the regime, against Mubarak, basically. Okay, and these are some few pictures I've taken myself. I'm just trying to advance the slides. Okay, these are Cairo University professors during the protests, and people from all walks of life carrying different signs. The young guy to the left is my son, and people sort of bringing their own cartoons and things like that. Foreign diplomats. This is a European Union ambassador after Mubarak stepped down. These are my kids over a tank after the army saved us a lot of hassle and bloodshed by joining the people. And that shows the power of the people at the end of the day. Now, what does this have to do with cloud computing? Well, cloud computing is a revolution in some sense. It's a massive revolution. By definition, is a change that brings in, that's dramatic by nature and broad in scope. So our revolution and cloud computing as well share the same characteristics. These are changes that are dramatic and broad in scope. In cloud computing, we actually change the way we store, distribute, process, and consume information, turning everything basically into a service, from the infrastructure, from hardware, to the operating system themselves, the operating system images, to the applications at the top of the tower. So everything is turned into a service. And there are some common aspects between this cloud revolution and the Egyptian revolution. The first thing is that you cannot face today's challenges the guy you see to the left is one of the masterminds behind the demonstrations, while Ghunem is the sales manager of Google in Middle East. You cannot face today's challenges with yesterday's solutions. As you can see here, part of during the revolution, like the pro ruling party groups sent camels and horses to fight the demonstrators. You have to be creative, you have to live up to the time you are in and update yourself. This is common sense, but in education we have to think of creative solutions. So we actually we don't have enough facility to host 2,200 students. So cloud comes in to help in that regard. Another aspect is that you offer computing facilities on demand. You don't have dedicated labs all the time for all the courses because you cannot afford that. But you offer computing resources on demand. Students can access this. So you can see these protesters are doing sort of user-tailored solutions according to the needs of the time. They were obviously trying to protect their heads from gas bombs and other stuff that was falling on them. Another important aspect is scalability. So you can scale the resources you need for teaching or for a project, a research project, for a graduation project, PhD project, or just a general research project. You can scale the resources allocated for this project from small number of cores or whatever, depending on what resources, what do you mean by resources here, to a big and massive amount of computing resources. So as a result of that, we had a few major delays, like the folks in Coventry. In Coventry, we received the equipment starting from January, almost about 4 months or 5 months since we knew we received the grant, and then came in the revolution. The consequences were that the whole country was shut down for almost a month and the university closed. When we reopened the university in March, the biggest challenge was actually getting the through the second semester and graduating the class that's supposed to graduate. And then we start tracing back the rest of the shipments, and we got all of them finally by May 2011. And after that, immediately our main facility or main building had to see some renovation due to some structural problem. So we lost the lab space we had. So during that time we managed to do some activities. We negotiated with the university an alternative lab space, and we got one that's almost 25 square meters, not bad, and we started moving our equipment in. We also did some training activity. Well, this staffing, we have these are the project staff. The main people are myself, Dr. Musa, and Professor Bagat as the lead administrator. We also recruited a research assistant, Sarah, and Islam Ismail, a research student. And we managed to run 2 events. The first workshop on cloud computing at Cairo University, and also a Linux training program. We started also some pilot experiments about which platforms to deploy for running and managing the cloud, and we ended up with a revised plan. Now, what's really exciting about this project, not just that it is the first of its kind in Egypt, but it also allows us to overcome the barrier of having to have labs set up and fully dedicated to the great number of students that we have, 2,200 students. This allows us to offer computing resources on demand from anywhere.